Welcome to Faith and Freedom. For the next few minutes, we hope to inform, inspire, and encourage you as we discuss the legal victories and challenges to your fundamental freedoms and religious liberties. Faith and Freedom comes to you from Liberty Counsel, a civil liberties education and legal defense organization. Join us now as Matt Staver, the President and General Counsel of Liberty Counsel, explains the latest legal issues all across this country in the courtrooms of America. Liberty Counsel is winning the battle for your constitutional freedoms.
As President Obama stacks the Supreme Court with radical leftists, Justice Kennedy says he will wait till Obama is out of office to retire. I'm Matt Barber, Director of Cultural Affairs with Liberty Counsel and Associate Dean with Liberty University School of Law, in for Matt Staver today. And joining me in studio is Sean Akers, Dean of Liberty University's Helms School of Government and Policy Analyst with Liberty Counsel. The New York Daily News is reporting in a headline, "Bad news for Obama. A conservative Justice Kennedy tells pals he's in no rush to leave Supreme Court." Now, Sean, for the New York Daily News to call Justice Kennedy a conservative, I think that's using a little journalistic license there. He's certainly not a conservative. He is considered the swing vote on the court, in that sometimes he sides with the liberal justices on the court and other times he sides with the conservative justices. But he's really the kind of the tiebreaker. He's anything but conservative if you look at his record on abortion, on homosexual activism, and so forth. I would go so far as to say that on many issues, if not most, at least social issues, Justice Kennedy is more of a liberal. However, according to the New York Daily News, as President Obama is likely to get Elena Kagan on the Supreme Court, he's already appointed Sonia Sotomayor to the Supreme Court. Quote, Justice Kennedy, who turned 74 this month, has told relatives and friends he plans to stay on the High Court for at least 3 more years, through the end of Obama's first term, sources say. Close quote. Well, let me just say this. Let's hope and pray that that is the case.
Well, that's right, Matt. Now, I'll tell you, this is interesting. You point out that by most terms, calling him a conservative would be a stretch, but compared to where this president is attempting to take this court, he is very conservative. Compared to the far left liberal agenda that is being thrust on the nation as a whole, you don't want somebody from that perspective like Anthony Kennedy messing things up by being the swing vote occasionally. So it's good to hear that Kennedy won. He knows his place as swing vote, and he'd like to wait for at least a more moderate person on in the presidency to appoint his replacement. Now, interestingly, a Daily News poll. Now, Matt, this is an unscientific poll. It's one that's done by just clicking when you go to the website, but still, this is a very interesting question. It asks, do you like the current makeup of the Supreme Court? The possible answers are, yes, the court's 5-4 split leads to rigorous debate. No, the court is not conservative enough. No, the court is not liberal enough, and not sure. Here's how that poll currently stands. 15% say they like it the way it is. 5-4 is a good rigorous debate. 1% say they're not sure. So here's the way that the entire rest comes down. 80%, Matt, 80% of those responding to the daily paper's poll are that it's not conservative enough. Yeah. 4% of those responding say that it's not liberal enough. The fact is that you've got an administration that would like to push the court to the far left, but the people, in whatever form they come out and speak, consistently say that the court's not conservative enough, that we the people, are still a right-of-center country. Yeah. It's only you, the elitists that are running the country, that are out of step with the rest of us.
Well, the fact of the matter is that most individuals who have any understanding of the Constitution view the Constitution from an originalist perspective. We have an administration now with President Obama at the helm who view the Constitution, our nation's one of our nation's most important founding documents, along with the Declaration of Independence and others, but certainly the Constitution is the basis for our laws and for our certain enumerated rights and freedoms and so forth. President Obama views the Constitution as an encumbrance to his agenda. And that is a leftist frame of mind, this idea that the Constitution is a living, breathing document that changes with the times, it's malleable. He has appointed 2 women recently. One has been appointed. The other is expected to be confirmed, Sotomayor, Kagan, who share that view of the Constitution, going so far as to even view international law and view our laws through the prism and their rulings through the prism of international law, which would literally make our founding fathers roll over in their graves. And so President Obama is trying to stack the court. He is at odds with this court in its current makeup right now. Cases like the Citizens United case, for instance, which basically granted more free speech rights to both individuals and corporations while leaving certain restrictions, reasonable restrictions in place. That infuriated President Obama to the point that he stood during his first State of the Union address looking down his nose at United States Supreme Court justices and had the audacity to chastise them publicly, to call them out publicly for this ruling in Citizens United. He did not name Kennedy outright, but as I recall, Kennedy wrote the decision for the majority in that case. He sided with the conservative justices in granting additional free speech rights to corporations and individuals. Well, for an administration that seeks to quash free speech, that sure stuck in his craw.